Think about the last time you bit into a piece of perfectly crispy fried chicken. You probably think of it as a classic comfort food, engineered by fast food chains or home cooks. But the truth is much wilder. The dinner of fried chicken is a timeline born out of a clash of global empires, a literal act of romantic revenge, an accidental shipping blunder, and a secret military alliance. Let us start with the hidden foundation of the dish, Southern fried chicken. The crispy bird we know today didn't exist until two completely separate continents collided in the American South during the 18th and 19th centuries. Scottish immigrants brought over their cultural tradition of frying unseasoned chicken pieces in hot fat. At the exact same time, enslaved West African people contributed their ancestral expertise of heavily seasoning, marinating, and spicing meats before cooking. Neither culture's tradition alone could create the final product. It was the fusion of Scottish frying methods and African spicing that established the global template for nearly every single style of fried chicken that followed. It became the crown jewel of Sunday family meals. The legendary origin of this dish begins in the 1930s as a deliberate act of romantic vengeance. A woman discovered that her partner had been unfaithful, and she wanted to punish him at the breakfast table. She prepared a batch of fried chicken and deliberately loaded it with a catastrophic amount of cayenne pepper and spices, expecting him to suffer. To her complete horror and surprise, he absolutely loved it. That man was part of the Prince family, who turned that exact act of revenge into Prince's Hot Chicken Shack. The technical genius of Nashville hot chicken happens immediately after the bird leaves the fryer. The chef takes a scoop of the blistering hot frying oil and mixes it directly with cayenne pepper and brown sugar to form a thick paste. The residual heat of the oil chemically activates the spice, driving the intense heat deep into the crust rather than letting it sit loosely on top. Served on cheap white bread with pickle slices to absorb the excess red oil, this local Tennessee secret exploded into a massive nationwide phenomenon by the 2010s. While independent shacks were perfecting regional flavors, a man named Harlan Sanders was engineering a way to conquer the globe. Colonel Sanders did not actually invent fried chicken. What he invented was a highly efficient system for cooking it quickly, consistently, and at a massive industrial scale. In the 1930s, at a small roadside restaurant in Corbin, Kentucky, Sanders realized that traditional pan frying took 15 long minutes, way too slow for hungry travelers. His solution was revolutionary: the commercial pressure fryer. By sealing the chicken inside a pressurized vat, he trapped the moisture inside the meat while slashing the cooking time down to under 9 minutes. Paired with his legendary guarded blend of 11 herbs and spices, the system allowed him to franchise over 600 locations by 1964. KFC introduced fried chicken to entire nations that had absolutely no history with the dish. In Japan, a brilliant 1974 marketing campaign branded KFC as the ultimate traditional Christmas meal. Today, the tradition is so deeply rooted that Japanese families must reserve their holiday chicken buckets weeks in advance. But you don't always need a massive corporate strategy to change food history. Sometimes, you just need a shipping mistake. This is the origin of buffalo wings. In 1964, Teresa Bellissimo was running the Anchor Bar in Buffalo, New York. One evening, the bar received a mistaken delivery of chicken wings instead of the standard, meaty chicken parts they had actually ordered. Refusing to let the inventory go to waste, Bellissimo decided to improvise. She deep-fried the naked wings and tossed them in a sharp glaze of hot sauce and melted butter, serving them alongside a random surplus of celery sticks and blue cheese dressing. Because the wings were fried completely bare, without a single speck of flour or breading, they developed a distinct, chewy, crispy texture entirely unique from Southern styles. The dish remained a hyper-local upstate New York secret for 2 decades before exploding into a multi-billion-dollar bar and sports culture staple across the globe. Finally, we must look across the Pacific to see the ultimate evolution of the dish: Korean fried chicken. Korean fried chicken is fried once at a lower temperature to cook the meat thoroughly from the inside out. Then, it is removed from the oil, allowed to rest, and plunged back into a significantly hotter vat of oil. This second fry drives every single remaining drop of moisture completely out of the skin, creating a delicate, paper-thin, glass-like crust that stays perfectly crunchy for hours. The pieces are then coated in a sweet soy garlic glaze or a fiery fermented chili paste called gochujang. In South Korea, this crunch is so iconic it birthed its own national subculture called chaimik, a literal blend of the words for chicken and beer. From the survival fusion of the American South to accidental New York bar snacks and double-fried military history, fried chicken is a global monument to human ingenuity. Thank you for watching Food Genesis. Remember to like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments what is your absolute favorite way to eat fried chicken. We will see you next time.